My bow tie fragrance guy family. Are you guys ready to be the best smelling mofos in the universe this winter? Well, you know what time it is. Stay tuned to this video because that's exactly where you and I are going to be with these 10 fragrance recommendations. Let's get it. Oh, and remember, I'm the best. I'm the best. What's going on, YouTube? My fragrance family out there in the YouTube community, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this channel. I'm the bow tie fragrance guy, and on this channel, we're going to discuss looking good and smelling great. That's what I'm all about. That's what I discuss on the channel. And today I'm going to be talking about the top 10 designer fragrances that I'm going to be wearing this upcoming winter. I know that winter is a month and a half or so out, but you know, there was a time in the fragrance community where videos like this were kind of sacred, you know, the seasonal top 10 list. But due to the current state of the fragrance community, these videos are not so sacred after all. I mean, now it's commonplace to see about 155 top 10 lists every day. So, hey, what the heck? Might as well go ahead and drop the video now. Again, it's not sacred anymore. So, being said, ladies and gentlemen, as I said, I'm going to be talking about just the top 10 designer fragrances that I'm going to be wearing for this upcoming winter. So if you want to hear what those 10 fragrances are going to be, then keep it locked right here. All right, guys, we're back. Let's go ahead and jump into this list. I am going to start with one honorable mention. And this fragrance is from the house of Dolce & Gabanna, and it's so appropriate because it really matches my jacket today. This one is called Dolce & Gabanna The One, Mysterious Nights. You can see that? Dolce & Gabanna The One, Mysterious Nights. I absolutely love this bottle, of course, the colors, but I love the fragrance as well. Very unique fragrance DNA. It does remind me a little bit of Portrait of a Lady, but not exactly. But this one does have rose in it. I think it has oud, but it opens up with that saffron, and that's what I really like about it. Very, very interesting combination of notes, especially that opening with the saffron. You get a little bit of a fresh vibe from grapefruit as well. But of course, it has other notes that really make it a great one to wear in the wintertime, like labdanum. It has some tonka bean in here as well, like I said, oud. So again, great scent to wear in the wintertime. It's not as wearable as some of the other ones on this list, so that's why it gets an honorable mention. And again, it's not an easy, and it's also not as easy to find. So that's another reason, but definitely worth an honorable mention and one that will be in my rotation this upcoming winter from the house of Dolce & Gabbana. This is The One, Mysterious Nights. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and jump right into the top 10, starting with the number 10 fragrance from the house of Azzaro. This is Wanted by Night. Wanted by Night, and the only thing that I hate about this fragrance is it took me a little while to get it in my collection, but man, this is some good juice right here. I'm telling you, you talk about a nice mass appealing fragrance that you can wear in the wintertime and really, again, just really garner a lot of positive attention. I've worn this several times, and again, this is one, if you're into the compliment thing, this is one that you want to take a look at. I'm telling you right now, it's really, really a more mature version of the original. I'm a fan of the original as well. Sometimes I like those really easy to wear fragrances, those kind of mass appealing scents. And the original was definitely, you know, fits that bill. But this one, again, a little bit more masculine. You have the mandarin opening, but it's really about the cinnamon for me. This is a spicy fragrance. There's some sweetness to it. There's some ISOE super in here. There is some, like I said, some cinnamon. There's some vanilla in this as well. Oh man, just a very nice, again, mass appealing scent. Some tobacco to give it, again, that kind of more masculine, mature vibe compared to the first one. But I love this stuff. Mass appealing, compliment getting winter fragrance from the house of Azzaro. This is Wanted by Night. All right, guys, and up next on the list from the house of Mugler, this one right here is Pure Malt. This is an oldie but goodie. I've have a lot of other fragrances on this list that I've never included on a top 10 winter list. I've included this one before, but it's just one that is really hard for me, if I'm being honest, to say that I'm not going to get a lot of wear, that it won't be in the top 10 fragrances in my collection that I'm actually going to wear, because this is one, you've heard a lot about this one, so you know what it is. Not going to spend a lot of time on it. Of course, that malt whiskey thing with the patchouli, that kind of cacao chocolatey vibe you get with this gorgeous scent. I'm telling you, this is one of the best fragrances in my collection that I look forward to when you talk about winter and sillage and it kind of catching the wind. This one right here is a winner. From the house of Mugler. Again, this is a classic pure malt. All right, guys, I'm coming in at the 8th spot. This fragrance is from the house of Prada. Now, this one would have been higher, but it is, from what I understand, discontinued. But again, I'm going to be wearing it, so it's on the list. This is Prada Amber Pour Homme Intense, the one in the black bottle. Now, I know you guys have seen the original, which was it had a kind of bluish purple tint. People say that it smells like a luxurious bar of soap. Again, I would definitely get with that reference, because it does smell that way, very luxurious. But guys, this is the counterpart. This is the one that you can wear in the cold temperatures. There's a slight freshness to it, but I'm telling you, this one goes in a completely different direction, a very unique scent DNA, if you ask me. And I absolutely love this stuff. Again, it's a little bit harder to find because it's been discontinued, but again, a great fragrance. This is the darker version of the original. This fragrance does feature notes of like iris, so it's a slightly powdery vibe, but definitely not like any of like the Dior Hommes of the world, but it does have some iris in there. But this was really, guys, about the patchouli in this, the tonka bean. Again, goes in a totally different direction, a lot more mature than the original. So if you can get your hands on it, I highly recommend it, because it is a great scent, a very unique scent DNA from the house of Prada. This is Prada Amber Pour Homme Intense. All right, guys, I'm coming in at the 7th spot. This one is from Maison Margiela. You know this one as well. This is by the Fireplace. Again, one that's becoming more of a staple on my winter fragrance list for great reason. Again, of the ones that I have on this list, not quite as wearable as some of the other ones as well. This is more of a special occasion type scent for me. My family and I traditionally like to take a trip to the cabins up in Tennessee in the mountains during the month of December. I'm not sure we're going to be able to do that this year because of of course, the pandemic, but usually we do take that trip, and this is one that I always take with me on that vacation. It's a great scent, guys. Again, by the Fireplace. That's what you get from this. The kind of the smell of burning wood. Again, I always sing the Nat King Cole song, Chestnuts Roasting on an Open Fire. That's what this smells like. Actually, there's a chestnut note in this as well, by the way. But guys, just a great scent. You kind of get that smokiness and the resinous from the Peru balsam in this. Great scent to wear in the wintertime. Definitely stands up to the cold weather. From the house of Maison Margiela, this is by the Fireplace. All right, guys, and next up on the list, coming in at the 6th spot. This is one of the fragrances that definitely will be his first time making his way on a top 10 list of mine for the winter. This is from the house of Givenchy, and this is Gentleman, and this is the EDP concentration right here. Guys, this is a beautiful scent. Think about fragrances like Dior Homme Intense. Another fragrance on this list that this may kind of remind you of, Valentino Uomo Intense. Well, guys, I'm telling you right now, this scent is absolutely amazing. Now, it does give you similar vibes to Dior Homme Intense, but this one is a little bit more spicy. There's a black pepper note in the opening. You definitely get more spices in this. Now, there is orris in this, so it kind of gives that irisy vibe. Definitely not, doesn't lean in that kind of lipsticky type vibe that a lot of people make reference to when talking about Dior Homme Intense. But again, it will give you a similar vibe. So if you never smelled this one, and you have smelled, of course, Dior Homme Intense, you kind of know what this smells like. Just imagine that. Not so lipsticky, but more spicy. And that's what this is. Definitely a gentleman scent. Again, definitely one that's going to be good to wear in the wintertime. That's why I made the list this year. This one is really growing and moving up on my personal list. In the house of Givenchy, this is Gentleman EDP. All right, guys, now coming in at the 5th spot, this fragrance is, we're going back to the house of Prada on this one. And this is Prada L'Homme Intense. Another one that seems to make its way to my winter list most of the time. Another one that's hard for me just to leave this one out. Again, I really feel like this is the best performing fragrance on this list. And And again, so for me, that's something that's all I hold very high value to when you talk about winter fragrances, the performance. And this is one of the best that I have in my collection. This lasts all day long on my skin. Again, this is another one that has the iris vibe. It has iris, but just as prominent as the iris is leather. So if you like leather in fragrances, you'll enjoy this one as well. The iris and the leather kind of give a great balance. It kind of offset the more powdery vibe that you get from the iris with leather in this. So again, great fragrance, great performance. At the 5th spot from the house of Prada, this is L'Homme Intense. All right, guys, and coming in at the 4th spot this year, this fragrance comes from the house of Valentino, and this is Valentino Uomo Intense. Valentino Uomo Intense, another one that has the iris note in it, but this is a lot smoother than any of the other fragrances on this list. Like some of the other fragrances I mentioned, it has leather as well, but more prominent than that in this one is the vanilla. I love the vanilla note in Valentino Uomo Intense because it really kind of smooths it out. Really smooths it out, guys, and I really love that about this scent. It's a little bit of spiciness I think you get from some clary sage, but again, this one works really well in cold temperatures. I'm telling you, this one really hits different in cold weather. Hard for me to leave this one off the list, although I have other fragrances on here that feature the note of iris. This is one of my favorites. That's why it's in the 4th spot. Again, from the house of Valentino. This one is called Uomo Intense. All right, guys, and coming in at the 3rd spot, this one is another fragrance to make a premiere on my channel on a top 10 winter list from the house of Viktor and Rolf. This one is Spice Bomb Extreme. Spice Bomb Extreme, and again, this is another one that really just is very appropriate to wear in the wintertime, especially around the Christmas holidays. And guys, of course, we're not too far away from the Christmas holiday, so if you don't have this one in your collection, I highly recommend this one. It's a definite, to me, improvement over the original Spice Bomb, which I liked, didn't love, but I love Spice Bomb Extreme. What they really did was amp this one up with some vanilla, and that's what you really get. You get a really nice dose of vanilla in this one with the cinnamon. But guys, again, just an absolute great fragrance to wear when it's cold outside. I love this stuff, can't get enough of it. This may be even higher on the list next year. From the house of Viktor and Rolf, this is Spice Bomb Extreme. All right, guys, and next up on this list, this is turning out to be one of my favorite designer fragrances in my collection. We're going back to the house of Prada again, and this is Prada Lunarosa Black. Prada Lunarosa Black, this is the 7th iteration of the Lunarosa line, and to me, the best. If this is the last, then this will give a lot of truth to this statement that Prada saved the best for last in this line, because this is just a gem to wear in cooler temperatures, fall, winter. Really, you can wear this in the, I would probably say the spring as well, but definitely the cooler months of the year would be my preferred time to wear this scent. Just an absolute gorgeous scent. This is one that you can wear any place, any occasion in the winter time, and you're gonna be one of the best smelling guys in the room. I absolutely love this stuff. I've talked about it before, so I'm not gonna go into a lot of detail about it, but know that I love it, and that's why it's in the number 2 spot. This is Prada Lunarosa Black. All right, guys, now before I mention the number 1 fragrance on the list this year, always remember, if you don't have these fragrances, I highly recommend sampling these fragrances. I highly recommend Scent Split. I always leave the link down below, so if you want to check any of these out before committing to a full bottle, I highly recommend giving them a try and trying these fragrances out. Heck, get all 10 of them and be smelling just like your boy this upcoming winter. So with that being said, let's go ahead and talk about the number 1 fragrance on the list this year. A newcomer to the list as well, but definitely deserving of the number 1 spot from the house of Tom Ford. This is Tom Ford Ombré Leather. Ombré Leather, and this one was released in 2018. As I said before, it used to be a part of the private blend collection when it first came out. They kind of repackaged it and put it in the designer collection, and it is even more wearable and even better in my humble opinion. Of course, the main accord here is leather. So you kind of get this sweet, leathery fragrance. And of course, again, guys, it's just really hard to beat this scent DNA right here. So if you like Tuscan leather, just imagine Tuscan leather just being a little bit more of a wearable fragrance DNA, and you get this right here. Very similar, but again, just a little bit more easy to wear. So I think that takes it to the next level for me and most people out there that may have had a problem with, because Tuscan leather sometimes can kind of come off almost giving off this kind of petrol type vibe to me, almost like gasoline. So for me, this one just takes the scent DNA and refines it a little bit more for the average person. So coming in at the #1 spot for me from the House of Tom Ford, this is Ombré leather. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. That's my time. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video as I talk to you guys about the top 10 designer fragrances that I will be wearing this winter. I always appreciate your attention to these videos because, of course, I know you didn't have to watch. You could have been doing anything else, but you took a few moments to watch this video. And I don't take that for granted. I sincerely appreciate it. So don't forget to take the time to like, comment, and subscribe, and share these videos out to folks that you think could use this information or find me entertaining, because I am your guy, the bow tie fragrance guy. I enjoy looking good and, of course, smelling amazing. So until next time, ladies and gentlemen, keep looking good, keep smelling even better. I'll catch you on the flip side. Peace.